get this started. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back, everyone. And if for those who are first coming here for the first time, welcome. It's your boy Hardcorn, and today we're going to be playing for the first time and actually get it right this time. It's going to be Elden Ring. Now, this isn't your average everyday Elden Ring playthrough where we complain about bosses being bad or anything like that. No, this is the fun modded playthrough that everybody likes to do. We got a few mods that I've introduced into here, but most importantly, we've got ourselves Miss Akiyama Rinko to help us get through the lands between. Now, this mod is a bit special because you have to do a bit of finagling to get it. It's an armor mod, so you have to deal with the fact that you can only shoot. It works with only the Vagabond armor set. So if you want to play with her completely the entire time, you have to use the Vagabond armor. Not exactly my most favorite situation because I don't actually like the armor very much, but it's something I'll live with because I get to see her. Oops, no. We have to go back to base creation because it only works with the type B body. Alright, so let's start off with this. Got Rinko. But on this side, you actually have to go over here and edit the body options for the character itself to actually work correctly. So I got to go over here. I've also installed a secondary mod with it, and we'll show just what it does when we finally get to start playing. But for the most part, let's go over this. Frankly, I don't usually care for the whole detailed character appearance stuff because all it does is like, what is it? It doesn't do very much for me since it's like, well, I don't usually bother with that sort of stuff because you're gonna be just wearing clothes or armor the entire time. If this were like Soul Level 1 or something where you don't wear anything at all and you just have to learn how to roll perfectly and you don't wear any armor or anything like that, yeah, I would be more concerned with how the character looks because you just use the base structure. To just face template, bone 2. Gotta go to hair. Make him bald. Let's see, and then we have that done. Because effectively you have to make this character effectively the baldest person on Earth. None. What does this sound like? That's fine. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, I gotta say. I'm more or less surprised right now that the game is actually loading pretty well. Because who would have known that when you take off the anti-cheat and everything like that, the game runs really, really well. I've also never ever seen what the cutscenes look like, and I think I've played this game like 2 times.
Tell a story.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's how you learn that Radagon and Mark are the same people.
was
I didn't know that.
in our home, across the fog, the lands between.
That's how little I know about this game, like the story and everything like that, because I don't even know I didn't even know until now that Marika and Radagon are the same person. Like that's how you learn that right there. It's the first cutscene you fucking watch.
And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish.
Well, that's sad. You got fucking owned, dude. Get out of here. Oh, it's Ranny, everybody's favorite.
Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their new
The mad taint.
triggered the shattering.
Oh, Snake Man. Snake Man's actually pretty cool.
A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all.
Oh, is this just Altered Beast? Rise from your grave, O Chosen One. Oh,
chieftain of
the
the
bad. Oh, this is where it comes from.
the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion.
The loathsome Dung Eater. And Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. He's got ears. He's got ears. They're ears. I didn't even know that. I thought they were scales. I've killed that man 4 times, and I don't know this. Man, this game is fucking weird.
And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring.
Yeah, that rhymed. That was nice. It's adorable.
And become the
Elden Lord. That's the goal. It's cool. I didn't know that it had, like, it did that. First, I need to pull that up. Sorry, we need to unequip a whole bunch of gear because you can't roll now. Actually, no, you need to keep the pants on. I should have known the FPS is just gonna like fall out into the ground. But yes, there's a secondary mod I have attached to this. This is called Carrion Combo Warriors. It recently got an update for the DLC, and it changes a lot of aspects about what happens in the game. You move extremely fast now and can do just about everything. You're invincible on most of your dashes. and can do insane shit all the time. You no longer consume stamina. You can do just about everything. They rip off most of the animations itself from Devil May Cry 5. Because later on we're going to be picking up, we have to pick up a katana because you can't start with one. But there's different movesets that they have for all of the weapons. Straight swords, ultra great swords, katanas, curved great swords, you name it. There's something for everything. So the first thing we're going to be doing is going to pick up the Uchigatana. It's a simple task, and I need to pick up 3 sites of grace along the way. That way we can finally talk to Melina and get torrent. Which is honestly annoying to say the least. I really wish I could just have... I mean, it makes sense thematically that we don't have torrent when it begins, but it's like, I'd just like to have him so I don't have to sit at 3 graces. It's him, it's our boy. I mean, sure, Rinko herself isn't too much a stranger to bestial characters, I'd say the least.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on her side. We found her here after all.
I think I need to turn down the graphics because it's choppy frames.
The Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden
Order. Oh my God, Peter. She's talking to us like we're a bunch of fucking idiots. Yeah, you can see perfectly right here that it depends very much on the armor set that you're wearing, because if you don't, it just won't appear. Because I need the points to level up so I can wear the entire set at once. Actually, wait. Carrying Combo Warriors also does a thing where it reduces the weight of all weapons to, I think, like 10 or 25% of their base value. Let's fix this. You gotta go back and apply them from there. For the most part, it's actually this is a very fun mod for the first place, because for one, this game is not exactly balanced towards this sort of thing. That's why there's a different version of Combo Warriors that gives the ability to, well, for one, not have to worry about anything like this at all. Not so much worry, it's that the game itself runs differently at that point. Should probably get a new CPU in the future so I could actually do this at full speed. But now all these weapons can do insanely crazy things all at once. Everything moves about like 4 times faster too. However, regular enemies like this don't usually bother with that. They're still really slow. But when you actually start fighting NPC enemies like invaders or something, or like named enemies or like the NPC invaders, those are usually some of the more difficult fights in the game because they now start scaling to these values changed and they affect them too. But it doesn't also mean you still can't lose either. You can do that too, and it just makes the game very easy. I think every weapon that is modified by the mod itself, does this. They have some sort of ranged option that's actually kind of busted in the first place. Like this is, I think, just a regular greatsword, I think. Yeah. This is the greatsword moveset, which gives you all these sort of which gives you like the firing the carrying arrows like that quickly all the time is kind of busted in its own right. Typically I like to use that stuff to destroying dragons because dragons have never ever been fun to fight. They are almost always terrible. So I want to get rid of them as fast as possible. Since we're playing with mods, you have to play offline. This weapon also modifies how fists and ultra greatswords work. So now you can actually start swinging around the Dragon Slayer greatsword, or what I think it's just called the greatsword. It's whatever Guts' sword is called. You can do more crazy shit with it. Alright, first let's return to desktop. And open the game up again. Because it needs to load in the low-level assets. But yes, that's the special thing about this game. It either runs like really well for me, or it just doesn't run at all. Because at the same time when you stream stuff like this, it almost always ends up turning out like really hard on the system in the first place. But to go more into the detail on the mods, so far I've played around with the great sword and the straight sword moveset. Like, when we eventually see the katana's moveset, it'll show off for the most part like what it actually will do. Because that's our goal essentially, is to play around with the katana moveset because it's effectively just like how you would play Rinko in the first place if she were ever to be in the game. But in terms of bosses though, Raptor, this game I think has like 100-something bosses, but only I think about like 40 of them are truly unique. Like it reuses a lot of stuff, obviously, because it's like, it's an inevitability. They're going to do that.
come to the. Of course, you. I'm for without gun. You are
It's Mr. You have no bitches.
Are you familiar? You may all that.
I mean, honestly, dude, I could probably just kill your ass right now, but I'm not going to.
Castle, the home,
Because what I need to do
castle, if you.
is we need to find about 3 sites, and we need to find, I think, 2 more sites of grace so we can finally get torrent. The fact that run speed is so, like, vehemently increased because of the mod is, like, such a great thing. It feels so fast. Smithing 1. Okay. Because typically what I want to do is, like, I go here because of the, like, the Groveside Cave with all the wolves and everything. You go in here, you go pick up that. But I don't think they actually started doing anything in terms of graces until you actually get over to the, in front of Stormvale Castle. Like, that camp area that everybody gets fucked up at. Come on, buddy. And as you can see, we got unupgraded weapons, so nothing does any damage. See the jump. Come on, do the rush. But typically this game is also without share of problems, because sometimes when the mod you do a technique like jumping in the air, firing off the arrow, or doing the triple swords, it causes the AI, not the AI, but the game itself to bug out a little, and the game doesn't know what to do until like the animation is supposed to finish. So you just stand there waiting for it to resolve. For the most part, this looks really flashy, like all the time. And for better or worse, that's just how it's going to be. While it is pretty cool to see this all flying around, sometimes I wish it would just be a little faster to go through. Because the enemy's active frames they just stay that way for hours on end. So they can still hurt you a lot. Which is typically why I want to use the katana moveset so often, because it's just that much faster. It also has a much easier to spam projectile, I'll say that much. Granted, the greatsword over here is doing a pretty good job at it. Though we won't have enough stats to actually sit down and use the Zweihander yet. There she is. There's Melina. There's Milady Melina. Finally, we're going to get Mr. Horsey.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog.
Oh, I just went through a fog gate. Wow. How did you know, Melina? Bitch, you are so smart.
I offer you an accord.
Oh, no thanks. I got loan payments on my other car, but thank you.
Have you heard?
Nighttime already.
Finger maidens. They serve the two fingers, offering guidance and aid to the tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless.
Why do they gotta keep bringing it up like that? I'm trying,
I
okay?
can play the role of maiden.
See, there you go. I'm glad you're offering yourself up like that. But you don't gotta do that, hun. It's okay.
To aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn
Runes into strength.
Ah, I bequeath to you this ring
An Elden Ring, perhaps? There we go.
to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect. Shall I turn your share them with me? Your thoughts,
We need 15.
ambitions, the principles you
Alright. Good, now that we have Torrent, we can go do what we set out to do in the first place, which is go pick up the fucking thing. So when you want to pick up the Uchigatana, it's at a very simple place to get to. It's in an easy place to get to. It's just north of where you start off. Typically, this is where you get torn in the first place. Because you got to look for a spirit spring, jump on that to get to the second part, so you can jump down. There's just something about Limgrave that's really nice. Like, it's an extremely huge area. It's this extremely huge area that feels like so grandiose. I just can't get quite enough of it. Because where we want to go is on the other side of that little ridge right there. For the most part, this area is just full of skeletons and everything like that, so it actually makes the life pretty annoying, to say the least. These skeletons are so strong. And there we go. Now we have the Uchigatana. But we'll keep using the sword for this one because it actually is a lot easier to hit these the souls of the skeletons by doing this than doing anything else. Very cool, Raptor. What type of steel type Pokemon is it gonna be? Finished off a slay all. Didn't stand a chance. And that's what the katana can do. Well, we're playing with modded Elden Ring, of course. Because you can only go kill you can only go kill skeletons, worms, and all other kinds of dragons so many times looking the same way. But this is the katana moveset. It's very fast, it's extremely agile, and has a better spamable projectile than most of the other weapons. The fists are the same way. They're very, very strong. They're very fast. And there's not much you can do. Most enemies can't touch you in the first place once you get this going on. You're invincible for also 90% of this thing's moveset. Is there a degree of bias? I would say so. Alright, now that we have that, we can go down to the Southern Peninsula and pick us up some fucking... What are they called? They're the things that boost up your flash so they actually do more effective stuff. I also need to pick up the Limgrave map.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, Alexander, hello!
Also known as the Iron Fist. And as you please, can you help me out of this?
Sure.
Thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. And I'll pop clean out, I'm sure.
I'm sure you will.
There's no need to fret. I'm very well trained.
Are you sure you can handle it there, Alexander? You're not going to like what's going to happen, I'll tell you that much. Yes! Look at you. He took it like a champ. Ain't nothing can touch Alexander over here. Well played, good lady. Well played.
Oh, that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me.
Look at that. Rinko was so charitable. She's helping out jar people and everything like that.
Aye. Thank you. And
The DLC actually does a pretty good job of showing what the inside of the jars actually look like, and it's fucking gross. Exalted
once
flesh.
again, pleasure is mine. I am the warrior jar known as
Alexander.
Iron Fist Alexander. I journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter?
Does more than that there, Alexander. Going up against Radon with this mod is actually going to be really fucking sick. Because Radon can do all this crazy stuff. Why can't we? And this allows you to do that.
Blighted king, I've heard.
I wonder how much it changes the skill values for, like, if you use like Warrior Jar Shard, which boosts I think skill damage by 20%. That's already an insane thing in the first place. I can only imagine what it'll do to something like this, where it already does so much damage in the first place. But now we're on a quest to go find a whole bunch of gear, because we need to upgrade our katana a little bit. Because the person, I think it was like the people who made the mod itself understand that, like, since you have full invincibility along the entire dash and everything like that, they have to balance in some aspects. So you do like no damage. You have to get better at hitting in every sense of the word. Like in any other situation, like those horseback riding enemies are really devastating. They do a shitload of damage and they're very fast. Same with horses. But now you can just knock them down like nobody's business. Because I want to get these the sword upgraded first so I can start killing dragons with it. But first we have to head south.
You there? Could you help us out, Cully?
Oh, it stops.
You? Yeah, you there. What'd you go and do that for?
I don't know where you are, Thops. Where are you? Because he's supposed to be in the area for the most part. Like, he's hiding inside of a bush because he's being, like, persecuted or something. I don't think I've ever actually sat down and completed his quest. Yeah, that's the actual lore-accurate Gyat that Rinko comes equipped with. When she got caught in an interdimensional tear and was sent over to the lands between, she just came out here looking like that. Honestly, this is how she actually looks in Action Taimanin for the most part. Though I do think the mod author did a little editing on purpose to make Miss Rinko look a lot bigger than she actually is. Because, my god, is she fucking enormous. Ooh, a Knight Rider. Knight's Cavalry, that's what they're called. Oh, wow. He ain't chasing me down there. Yeah, that's right. You stay back there, buddy. Why don't you be hunting my ass down like that? You can go the fuck home, dude. Because I'd say the Brinko model is certainly a lot more interesting than looking at the professional tarnished booty, that's for sure. Because I think they scrunched down her model to fit on the skeleton for a for the characters in Elden Ring. Because, like, my goodness, she is. They made her that meaty on purpose. They had to have. Why, you could even say that she's lore-accurate. Alright, let's jump over this. Good. Now I have to reload and it's freedom from here. The Weeping Peninsula. Because what I want to do after this is go pick up the moon veil, because because before what I wanted to do is, like, I wanted to go pick up I want to go to get Elden Rings and do the DLC using because I already done it once with my my character I built specifically for just to clear it, but now I wanted to come back and do it with something else. So I wanted to try dexterity. And, like, Moonveil is, like, the weapon for that. Like, the concept of an int dex weapon doesn't sound too crazy, but I wanted to see how that would turn out, because typically when people run dex in this game, it's usually like, oh, we're going to make it bleed, or do something with, like, elemental weapons, because they're always so fast and they apply it very quickly. Do I do enough damage for it? I don't think I do. Yeah, I do. Ugh! Let's get rid of his stinking horse. I do think it's really crazy that they can, like, drift a horse like this, like it's a car. Come here, buddy. That's it. Get the fuck out of here, buddy. Get out of here with that shit. Come on. Stupid ass. What is oh, it's the Knight Rider flail. I forget, what are the stats required from Moonveil? I know it's something like, it's actually, like, quite pricey to do. Oh, here's something really, really neat for the most part. There are 11 flask boosters in the entire game. 3 of them are on Weeping Peninsula. For the longest time, I was sitting around with, I think, plus 9 or 10, and I didn't know where, and I thought that was it. That was the max. It wasn't until about like a month ago when the DLC came out, and I was wondering, like, did I have all of the stuff? No, there's 11 of them, and it's right here. This sacred tear for this one is like in such a niche location, because honestly I never thought to look like behind this mountainside, and it's a frenzy village too. It's like one of the first places you can see it in action. So I thought to myself, it's like, wow, I feel kind of dumb for not noticing that, but also it's like, I mean, it's so stupid. Welcome back there, Raptor. I died. I thought I could make the jump. Because from what I remember, this mod also has no fall damage built in, but obviously when you're riding torrent, that changes, I think, that aspect. Because if there's anything I want to do is just start jumping off of high locations because it's faster. It's certainly more dangerous to do so, but that's half the fun. Also, when you have no fall damage mods like loaded up or anything like that, it starts messing with how the game, I think, calculates it. Because I remember at one point I was in Stormveil Castle, and I was when you do a backwards dodge, it I think like goes, it has an extremely long distance it has to cover, and there's a lot of small ledges in Stormveil Castle. So when you use this, it like you dodge backwards, and you will jump off and fall off a ledge more often than not. I think I've died more times from just falling off of something than I have with actually to enemies. Like, this mod is like busted to say the least. There's a reason on like the description itself that it tells you to use low upgrades or high new game cycles, because if you don't, the enemies are just going to fall down before you. It's pretty nuts. Like on the test file I'm using, the whole aspect of that is like, I think it's sitting at like +3. It's just enough to do pretty consistent damage, but not enough to just straight up annihilate someone when you use Slay All or Hell on Earth, or the big combo finisher that you use for the Yamato. Because man, this thing is like fucking crazy. The fists are like absolutely busted for the most part, because they just have like they do blunt damage and fire a projectile at the same time. So you can punch the air like a fucking idiot for like 20 minutes and kill a boss that way. It's not really the recommended way to do so because it's boring. But the most like damning aspect about this is that it's stuff like this. Like, this game is not exactly made to be able to it's not made to go this fast. So when you see stuff like this happen, where I start doing the back and forth, what is it, the Iaido draw or something like that. It's like wind slashes and everything like that in between. It makes it really, really annoying to control. Because it's like, these are directly ripped off from like Devil May Cry 5. And that game has like large bowl-shaped circular arenas that you can't fall off of. So in this case, you're going to be falling off a lot of shit in the first place if you don't learn how to get it under control. Like, when you're out here just messing around and looking at stuff, it's pretty cool. And you fight like just regular enemies. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. The bosses themselves kind of like fold when you start using these. I wish I had more money though to go buy the, what do you call it? Oh shit, I pressed it again. I want to pick up this. Like, this is like directly Virgil's run and everything. Yeah, I really think they, Raptor, I really think they did it on purpose to make her this massively thick. Because I don't even think regularly in Action Taimanin she looks like this. She looks like she got put in a trash compactor and all the fat went to her chest and her back. It's really nice. I like it a lot. It certainly makes looking at the rest of the game very entertaining. Because there's only so many times I can look at the back of the character and go, yep, alright, we're going to the Weeping Peninsula, we're doing this. That's right. Oops. Boy, you stay out of this. Don't you try to third party this one, homie. They don't have, I don't think the player models itself have anything like jiggle physics or anything like that. Because this game can barely handle how huge Rinko is. Like, it's honestly really crazy. Like, when I found this, I think, the other day, I was like, you know what, I'll play Elden Ring with this. How much could it change? It changes a lot. Like, a lot. I can already tell this foliage and like the particle effects are really messing with my my FPS. We're running pretty well for the most part. But it's also like, man, this is rough. Because I was looking at new CPUs the other day. Well, CPUs for this motherboard I'm using. Because Sorceress Selene. Unlocked her. That's good. Was that a mini oxen? No, it's a, I think it was one of those like carrion golems or something like that, where it fires, where it's made out of like lion heads, of stone lion heads. This Weeping Peninsula is probably one of my favorite areas in the game, specifically for this beach area. This ring is fucking my shit up. What I want to do is, how can I help you at this end of the earth? He has, it's for 3,500. 19. Purchase the lantern. Pick up the Z-hander.
Have a safe.
Have a safe. Thank you. Pick up the Y-hander because it's, I think, the lowest ranked, not, it takes the lowest amount of strength to use. Which is actually perfect. We can use it. That's right, now you get 2 of these. I just think that's crazy. It's like, now this is what you do for the weapon. You just hold 2 in your hands. Or you got, oh, I just got 2 ultra great swords, you know. Nothing fancy or anything like that. Just 2 gigantic things that are the size of a car. These guys are usually used to duplicate remembrances, and frankly I don't bother with that. They usually don't have any weapons that I want. Oh, I haven't picked up any maps at all. Because I think the one for it is right here, the rampart. So it has a one-handed and a two-handed move set like this. I don't know why it switches you automatically to the two-handed version. Either way, it'll be pretty fun to show off for the most part. Castle Morn's, I think, one of the first real dungeons you can sit down and do. Because you can obviously go over there and fight Margit or something. I forget how it's pronounced. You can go and fight Margit yourself, or you can go over and do this. First, I want to pick up this Grace so I don't have to worry about dying and have to run back. These golems are actually, they look dangerous, they somewhat are, but the thing you mostly have to worry about them is like their stomp attack, because once they're up close, they're just like, they're sitting ducks. God damn, that does so much poise damage. Does that kill? No. You know, typically ultra great swords do a shitload of poise damage, but no, when you do stuff like this and give them two and make them move as fast as a regular straight sword, yeah, I think they're gonna be a little strong. Alright, we don't have enough stats for that. Let's go back to the katana. Because when you play around with the unupgraded gear, it makes life a lot harder than it needs to be, but it certainly is a lot of fun too. Because the name of the game usually on this is, what is it? Since I think Dark Souls 1, or even Demon Souls probably, is that you get the minimum required value for your build. Like I think the Uchigatana costs like 15. It's something like 15 dexterity, 13 strength, and you just start leveling it up from there. Like when you start investing into stats, like the big stuff, that's like much later. I mean, if I don't need to fight him, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, this is the place where they also introduce those fucking birds. I hate them so much. I mean, we have an answer now to the birds, but it's also like I hate fighting them. What's happening there, Omega Star? How you been? We got that Elden Rinko on our hands. Oh, thank God it fell off. Bro fell off. Bro fell off. For the most part, the mod's actually been pretty fun. You have to do a level of self-control, but with like... We're using 2 mods right now, which is Carry and Combo Warriors and the Rinko Vagrant Armor Replacement. So you need to have like... Because it fits thematically with her. Because she gets it like Virgil's entire moveset. So it's effectively like having, you know, the big V-Man inside of this game itself. And just how, and you get to see like, you know, in Devil May Cry 5 and every title that he's been in, he's super strong and like extremely devastating. So when you get to have his abilities here, they kind of bowl everything over.
There's Edgar.
I'm Edgar. Hi, Edgar.
They gave me good service. Foul creatures, as I said. I'm sorry, but whatever, you come here to take this.
Take this.
Now then, away, you no reason to risk. Now then, away, you no reason. Now then, away, you no reason.
Well, I do have a reason to be here there, Edgar. Not because of you and your ass that stayed until the castle fell. I'm here to go take out the Leonine Misbegotten so I can actually go get the Grafted Greatsword. The Carry and Combo Warriors is a very, very nuts type of mod. It makes things that shouldn't be possible, for better or worse. Is that a bad thing? No, not really. It puts like a new twist on the game, like for a playthrough. This is something I wouldn't be keeping on forever because it makes because there are versions of this that they have edited to specifically make the game harder to compensate for this fact. Okay, well, that's not what I needed to do. Frankly, I didn't want to use those because it's really supposed to be like a competency porn situation where Rinko herself is like supposed to be this amazing, gifted warrior who doesn't take no for an answer and knows how to just totally whoop ass. So we're just going to be having a nice couple parts playthrough where we use this mod. Because I don't intend on making this like a extremely long normal Elden Ring playthrough where it takes like 47 hours to do. That's just not worth it. We will do the DLC though, that's for sure. So this will take a while for sure. And I want it to take a long time. But no, Raptor, I have yet to see anything about this new Zelda game. In fact, I didn't even know they were making another one. Is it like DLC for like Tears of the Kingdom or something? Hey, get back here. Don't run away. God damn it, Rinko. You son of a bitch. Just drops down like like a rock. Okay, I don't want to do that on the ledge because it's gonna kick me off again. That's another thing I don't like about this mod is every time that shit happens, it's like these very long and elaborate animations are for each one of these weapons. that are described in the mod. And it makes it so that every time that something happens, it's like you have to sit there and you're locked into most of the animation. Like when Rinko does the big combo when you use you charge up to level 2 and then use her light attack. It makes you die by gravity, of course. Her fat ass pulls her down too fast. You get caught in the animation and you can actually get out of the animation for the most part. Like sometimes it's just better just regularly backstab than using the entire like big flashy animation. It's why I like using Slay All, for one, because it makes her invincible, and two, because it holds her still. Okay, I'm gonna look over my shoulder and jump this time. Oh my god, I almost died again. Been 2 times in a row, I swear. Alright, Rinko, you can do this. Jump off the ledge. There we go. There we go, girl. You got it. Good lord. Platforming has never been my strong suit. I didn't play any of those Mario games when I was growing up. I was a Sonic kid, which means go fast in a straight line. Don't care about anything else. And lo and behold, it's biting me in the ass when I have moments like this. That is one thing I like about this mod so much, is because it gives you AoE attacks for like everything. You just blow up all these rats. Like typically this would be a thing where you would just get caught in there and get butt fucked by all the rats. It'd be like Rinko's new HC in an RPGX. Like, oh, it's the new Rinko special unit. She gets fucked over by a bunch of rats. That's her thing. That's what she does for fun. Yes, Raptor, I have heard about what happened, and I'd rather not bring that in here. I'll just say this much. It happened. Alright. Now it's time for another boss. This is actually probably one of my favorite arenas in the game. Because it's like it's rainy. It's like it's in a shallow piece of water area. You're supposed to come in here with like a plus like 3 weapon. She looks like a big dwarf. She does. Because the player model for this game is so small. She looks like when you try to play like when you like, what is it? When you take a 16:9 movie and you have to play it on a 4:3 screen, it squashes everything. Gotcha, bitch. Get down. Get down on the ground. Running around like a big clown. That's my favorite projectile. It's so good because all it is Virgil's air taunt, which fires 3 projectiles and holds them in the air. I haven't upgraded my health like at all. There we go. That's what I figured. Because there are ways to do the judgment cuts, but they're like, you can't just like do it on command. Because it's not like, what is it? It's not like Devil May Cry where you can just sit there and do the timed input to do them. They're part of combos, so you can't just like have Rinko come in there and just do chaining judgment cuts back and forth in the air and just kill him that way. You have to fight him somewhat normally. We're also doing 19 damage per hit, so we gotta get a little bit better. See, there we go. That's what happens when the animation doesn't finish. You get stuck inside the pose. See, there we go. It's weird because for the most part you're supposed to come back. When you come here, you fight this another the lion enemy. That's what I think they're like the Leonine This is the Leonine Misbegotten. It probably changes bosses or something because you're supposed to fight the beast man who uses the grafted greatsword. This is the one you fight at the Verdun festival. Come on, buddy. Ooh. I'm so glad that she's invincible during this entire animation. I probably need to upgrade my weapons. To nobody's surprise, they're Omega Star. Like I was explaining earlier, how all of these animations are just like ripped straight from 5, like Devil May Cry 5. Like they have Virgil's Run, Slay All, Hell on Earth, all kinds of other stuff. You can't do like a taunt. You can taunt with like some of the weapons. You can finish him with this. Oh, thank God. Nice. It makes the fights, you know, harder because you're not having like big gear. Because when you do start leveling it up, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it changes the requirements for like a bunch of weapons. So like you have the Uchigatana here, which now has scaling in every single aspect and requires nothing. Like you have perfect guard boost and everything like that. It's pretty crazy. Which is what it does, like 5 forms of split damage, but the way damage is calculated now is a bit different. Like I think with bosses it's inherently different now. Like you can see that I'm fighting regular enemies, I'm doing like 40 damage to them. I'll do like 200 something damage to them, while with a boss I'm hitting him for 50 damage. Because it also means it's like it's putting the damage 5 different aspects at once. Which is a way to, I think that's probably the way they balance it for the most part. Some points there. I need to put points into intelligence now. Because frankly, you don't really need to worry about stamina. You just need to find stuff for the... You typically don't need to worry about that. You just have to get the stuff from, like, what do you call it? Oh my god, it's the, Don't you do it. Because something I didn't try when I was testing was how do infusions work with this? Because I think it changes it for the most part too. Bad dog. Bad dog. I don't think... No, you can't do it yet, because you can't do with that one. I need to find a straight sword somewhere. Because with straight swords, they have... oh, I forget what it is. It's the one where it's like with quadruple S, where you can get Dante's rush attack. They take everything from that game. Like, I know Capcom people are typically like, you know, they delve into their game and tear it apart so they can get like the craziest shit in there. That's the frail. Is it? I think it is. Yeah. We've gotten this far without having to upgrade any of our weapons. Can I make the jump? Yep, good. You're not supposed to make that jump. Because there's another really cool thing about carrier and combo warriors. When you're just regularly using Rinko, well, not Rinko, but your character, you don't have to worry about fall damage. Granted, when you hit a kill plane like I did over there on Weeping Peninsula, yeah, you can die, but anything that's not specifically like at a certain point, because normally you're supposed to take enough damage there and instantly die. Because right now we want to head over to Caelid so we can start picking up some materials to upgrade weapons. Oh, are you talking about the slay all feature? Oops. Hang on. You do that just by holding when you sheathe the attack, it's like you have 2 stages of charge. Like you see it right there, it has like 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. So when it charges up to level 2, you just press heavy attack. And you charge to level 2 and you do light attack, it does the combo barrage. This is a really sick mod in general. I like it a lot. But it doesn't come without its own fair share of problems. Like, because of the way things scale now, and because of the way it makes things work. Like, you can simultaneously be broken as shit, but also, like, it adds a new layer of challenge, which is, like, normally when you play the game, hitting enemies isn't like, very hard. This adds, like, a level of complexity to it that really shouldn't be there, but that's, like, the trade-off between the two. I kind of like it, but it means it's stuff like this, where I'm trying to hit a dog who should be very easy to do. You just walk up and smack them. No, I have to, like, calculate the distance between the 2 people because of the way the animations work. Now, where is the ledge? There it is. Like, this really is like a really nice and inventive way to go play Elden Ring slightly differently. It's like the perfect what if situation. Like, what if you were able to, like, what if you brought Devil May Cry into Elden Ring? And it makes it, like, the most busted-ass journey that, like, you'll ever play. Like, I remember, I think, like, 2 years ago when I was, like, let's see. I moved here in October, I think? Not October. I moved here in April, and then I was in, like, so June of that year. I was playing Elden Ring, and I was messing around with the mods that were out at the time. It was a really fun experience for the most part. Like, I have this file I used to, like, mess around with in PvP called Jarly Davidson. It's where jars in the game, you use them typically to hold various physical spells, and they scale differently depending on what type of build you're using for them. I liked using the volcano and the fire pots because they have, like, extreme explosive damage and everything like that. So you get a twinking build, and you just take it, like, to very early areas. So you pick up something like this, like, rinky-dinky, you know, +6 Uchigatana, so you can, like, invade at those levels. And it's really fun. Also, I don't like fighting, like, large enemies using this mod because it makes it so annoying to do. Get down, son. shit. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, we can head back. Oh, I didn't pick that. I didn't pick it up from the gate front. Shit. I knew I was forgetting something. I was too into wanting to beat up these other enemies. Give me that. Give me that Limgrave West, baby. So now we have the tunnels. We need to head back to the church. Because amazingly enough, I have, even with all these graces I've found, I have yet to unlock the round table hold.
May I have a word?
No, Ranny. Hold on. I'm talking to my people. Okay, first, okay, everybody, we're gonna go over here and upgrade the smithing table. Amount of money? What do you... Oh, I need one more smithing stone. Okay, bitch. What do you gotta say to me now?
Pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna.
You're not Renna,
And
you're...
upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee.
Okay.
Thou art possessed of the power, no?
Yeah,
To
of
call
course I
forth
am. Of course
special
we're pest of
steed
power.
named Torrent. As I had hoped, I was entrusted
What
this
those forearms do there,
by
Ranny? You gonna
Torrent's
show us what they
former
do with
master.
that? You got Blide's cape and everything like that.
'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Earth Tree. The spirits will obey thine command but briefly.
Look at that. Rinko just doesn't like want to be there at all.
Battles past.
It's like you...
Now it is thine. To do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine, I doubt we shall again meet. How long will it be before the Tarnished tire of a big...
Alright, now we gotta get Ranny's ending. Now Ranny's quest begins. I think it's probably... You're probably supposed to talk to Melina, but I don't want to do that. I also don't want to talk to Melina. Because I need one more shard so I can get +3, and that'll be enough for Limgrave. Or at least for this area. Oh jeez, it's loading everything in at once. I think this is one of them right here. There we go, perfect. What is that sound? Who is dying out there? That guy sounds like he's in a lot of pain. He probably needs like a laxative or something. Hopefully he's not on opioids or something. But I'll be back. I gotta take a whiz. Alright, I just remembered something when I was over there in the bathroom. So, a long time ago, I think this had been about 8 or 10 months at this point. Someone notified me about this guy who is making like drama content about something like this, about like action taimanin or something, and I was like, all right, what has he got? Like what's going on here? So I was like, I watched one of his videos to see what's going on. He's talking about like various spending habits and practices that the game predatory or something like that that's not very good. It's typically what these type of games do in the first place. So it's like, then he goes on later. He's ranting and raving about something. I don't remember who this is. I just remembered about it because my roommate's like watching. My friend roommate, he's watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and they were talking about like some drama thing between people. So this guy is like stirring up. This guy apparently was stirring up shit or something. Talking about like I think both me and Bella D, how we like propagate the idea of something like people need to spend more money on the game or something, like professional whales or something like that, when in reality it's like I don't think we either of us do that. We just provide coverage of the content so people know whether or not it's good enough to save up for. It's effectively like somebody doing a car review where it's like, you know, most people will never ever buy this thing, but the people who are looking to do so want some information to make sure it's a good idea, and that's what we do. It seemed a little misguided or misplaced in terms of anger. That's close. But I just remembered about that and I thought, oh, that's neat. Like, it didn't need to happen, but it's like, but I guess this guy really just wanted to start stirring up shit. I don't exactly understand why, but if you wanted to, you wanted to. Typically in these smaller game communities, it's either going to be one of two things. The people are going to be acting like the worst. You're going to be either like completely demonized or like you're the worst person on earth. Alright, I'll fix this. Hang on. Either you're going to be like demonized or totally canceled if it's like people of like a younger crowd. Like smaller games typically like have older people playing them, for better or worse. They act more like adults in most situations. Or at least I would like to believe so. Like, typically the bigger your game gets, the more problems they start to bring upon themselves in the community. Like, that's usually what you see when you have like Genshin Impact or like practically any Hoyoverse game, or like Azur Lane, like that. Yeah, those are perfect examples because they have like a bunch of like younger people as well, and they tend to get over dramatic on sort of stuff. Like get melodramatic on a bunch of ideas that people usually don't care about. And typically the older you get, you usually stop caring about that because you have other problems you need to start subscribing to before, like, instead of like beef between two people. It's like you're acting like it's two fucking women or something. But no, it's just something I remembered, and it reminded me like, oh yeah, that happened. At least it's over now. What is this boss? Oh, it's the watchdog. Why do they call it a watchdog when it looks like a cat? Ugh. But speaking of like the aspect of drama, it's like, I'm sure you guys have noticed at some point, like people start doing like drama content, it really starts to like amplify their channels for the most part, because everybody loves that shit. Like even people who say that like they don't like, oh I don't care about that stuff, I don't care about drama or anything like that. You know deep down that they care to some degree. Like they want to know what's happening because it makes them feel involved. And that's why like they feel involved with situations so they can give a take on it. It's like it's like the perfect thing to like drum up like interest and everything like that. It's why they're so prevalent and they're so popular. I mean, that's why we have like shows such as like The View or like regular talk shows, because they stir up stuff. That's the whole point of them. Not to mention like promoting your content or something like that. But typically when you have like a smaller franchise, but like smaller franchises typically don't have this. Or like a long-standing franchise tries to make something and it turns out like this is like Action Taimanin is like perfect example of that, because it's a bunch of old people. That's just it. You have people in their late 20s and 30s who have been with this series since they were probably teenagers, and it's like, oh man, I'm down with that. Give me more of that stuff. It's like those are the people who play like RPGX. Like they're involved with that stuff. They want to see more of it. And everything like that. And then you get into big games and it's like, oh man, they suddenly start doing all that crazy shit. Like, did you hear about X who did this? They were professional groomers or something. Like, who cares, dude? Where is this coming from? Honestly, like what is it? Like, get a life has never been so prevalent these days and age. Like, oh, those kids these days. I'm just doing that now. I'm sorry. Like the kids these days, like, oh, who cares? They're just doing whatever they want to do. Pick up those.
Well,
But in more happier news, I've gotten further along in Higurashi. I've been reading that for the last couple of weeks. Last time I talked about it was about 2 weeks ago, and I was in the middle of episode 2. I finished that the other week. That was actually really nice. That was it took a lot of twists and turns and everything like that. So let's see. We'll talk about that and finish it up on that one. Oops, I didn't equip it. Put it on the left. So during episode 2, you're trying to find out who. Wow, I forget who the main character's name is. That's not good. What they do is like they sneak into the shrine, they sneak into the shrine storage building where all the torture tools are held, and that creates a long series of people who are killed and like abducted. And then you actually find out who was doing it. It had been it was Mion the whole time, or at least during this part. Sure, it's fun. We'll do that because there's a reason why you get summoned for it. But for the most part, it's like we find out that Mion had been doing this because she is. We get a history lesson with her about like the village and then like what his past was, her family's involvement with everything. Like you name it. There we go. concentrate for this. Yeah, this is peak Elden Ring gameplay. Holding down the button to do flashy attacks that do 0 damage. This mod is insane. Truly, truly insane. But let's see. Mion herself is revealed to be that the person who was, one, torturing and killing a whole bunch of people inside the town to uphold the values set by her family for the last, I think, probably 300 years. Since her family has been living there for a long time, and they hold a lot of power there. So, bound by duty, unfortunately, she sets out to right the wrongs that has been set out by various villagers in the town. The people who had snuck in and were involved with the messing with the tools in the shed are subsequently killed or abducted in some way. And they're not just like that, they are tortured. They're just flayed, let their guts spill out, everything like that. It's a mess. So all that stuff happens, the big reveal and everything like that, you figure out like, oh my god, Mion, how could you do this to your friends? Don't you care about them in any sort of aspect? And you find out that, yes, she does care about them. A lot. However, she, what is it? She captures her sister and then puts and tortures her as well. So it's effectively like, you know, they spend a lot of time doing that. Yet, I'm losing my train of thought on that because I have to concentrate a little on this. But to make a long story short, after all that's said and done, Keiichi, that's his name. Keiichi is like, you know, he moves out of town. It's like the Mion's family apologizes for, you know, capturing, like kidnapping him, torturing the character and everything like that. And after that happens, it's like, you know, all right, well, I'm going to move out of town now. I'm going to move out of town because apparently my supposed longtime friend of Mion has apparently been possessed by Oyoshiro-sama and has decided to stab me and render me helpless. I'm never going to come back here again. I hate everybody here. That's his whole thing. So he does that, and then you find out later that Mion had stabbed him. Mion had stabbed him, and then he goes to the hospital, and when he moves out. So you find out like it's a month later, and it's like Shion dies because, well, she is quote unquote killed by her sister. Because this happens, it means that he's like, you know, like they catch Mion. No, they don't actually. For the most part, like Mion is actually discovered to, she died during her escape from the tunnels by her house. Somebody else is actually out there on the case killing people, and it was actually the one who, what is it, pushed Shion to kill herself, and also for Keiichi to, and also stabbed Keiichi. And then you find out one of the victims who actually was, was found at the very beginning to, ooh, am I still alive? Okay. Alright. Was found out to actually still be alive at the time of the first set of killings. Turns out to be actually dead in the first place. We get Knight Rider Glaive now. Oh no, you get the thrust. What? Oh, that's the one that's up north. It's over in Caelid. Or was I? Oh, yeah. You find out that the person who actually stabbed Keiichi and brought Shion to her death wasn't actually that person at all. In fact, it was someone else entirely. So the mystery is still on. It's actually quite interesting because it actually turned everything on its head for the most part for me. Because I couldn't believe it's like, what, really? I thought this actually like resolved itself for the most part. And they acknowledge that in the wrap-up scenario that comes afterwards. And it's like, that's cool and all, but also, man, what the fuck does that actually mean? This has honestly been like reading Higurashi has like been one of the more interesting things that I've done so far. It's really fun. Granted, there's a lot of slice of life stuff that like really takes up a lot of time inside it that I don't like. However, I'm now in like episode 3, which is the one that talks like which was Satoko and like her family issues alongside with Rika as well. Episode 2 starts off pretty, I would say pretty weak for the most part, because it's just like you're just sitting there with so much at the beginning. Like it's very backloaded. Like it has like, you know, you spend your time building up for like hours and hours and hours with all these characters and like, oh my god, it turns out to be her, and you get the history of the village and like what happened. It's like, wow, this is great. Like once Wataganashi actually happens and you like get to the the first set of abductions, like that's when things start, like after the first set of abductions things actually start getting interesting. I don't know why it takes so long to do that. I really wish it didn't. Because that's one thing I can say like Umineko does it a bit better, is that it does have its share of like, you know, moments where it takes a long time to get anything going, but it feels important. This is probably like a Muv-Love situation where, yes, even the small slice of life portions are important, but honestly, I don't feel it. It just feels like it just drags on. Like these things could like take less time if they really wanted to. For the most part, it's progressing actually pretty quickly. Because I know every time, like at least thus far, like when you hit Wataganashi, that's like about that half. Well,
You do well to steer clear of a gill lake, and it's just so stay clear.
So stay clear of the lake. Okay, I'm gonna go to the lake now because that's where I need to go next, anyways. Because we'll take out the dragon and then we'll head to Caelid. Why are we heading to like early Caelid? Because I want to pick up some stuff there. Mostly I just want to pick up some money. Out the way, trees. Dragon Heart! Yes, please. Alright, where's the tunnel? So what time do you should pick next? You already have Phantasma, Sakura, Eleanor, Kiara, Kurenai, and Shiranui. I don't know, I'd say pick up Murasaki because she's like really helpful for the most part. Like she can do just about everything. I mean, you got a pretty good solid lineup right there. I'd say pick up Astaroth if you've gotten anything for her, because Astaroth has like the crazy ability to clear so very quickly. Ugh. Oh. I knew that was gonna happen. I just knew it. Oh my god, it sent me all the way back there. Shit. But yeah, Astaroth's a really good next pick for you because you've got Phantasma's debuffing. You have Phantasma and Eleanor. Well, they share weapons, so it's kind of counterintuitive with them. You need a lot for that. Kurenai actually doesn't do very much right now. I'd say you could probably go with Lapis or Astaroth. Those are nice picks. I don't know if you're like trying to do like stuff for VR or anything like that, but Lapis is nice because she can just give everybody healing and everything like that. Not to mention she's got an event running right now, so you can pick up a pretty solid weapon and supporter for her. Because for the most part, it's like you have pretty solid picks. It's like, I don't know. I'd have to look at the game itself again right now for me to think about like who would be a good pick for that, because you've got a pretty solid lineup. I don't know what kind of gear you got though, so it's like it could totally depend on. It could be something totally different. Knocked him down. Shit. Oh my god. Yeah, this is what NPC invaders look like. They can do everything they can do the same things that you can, and it is absolutely insane. Like there's a few NPC fights that are just like absolutely fucking bonkers. Like you can't even touch these guys. So I already know this much. Like when you go fight the Rivers of Blood guy over there in the consecrated snowfield, he's gonna like fuck my shit up.
Tarnished, you stay the path. Just remember, don't let your emotions.
Don't let your emotions stay your blade.
Be on your way. Perhaps we will.
I forget where Patch's cave is. I need to 917 power. Jesus. It requires 12, 18, 23. Okay. Dude, I hate these imps. I really do. Like when you're playing normally, you're just like, you're bound to get ambushed by like 10 of them. What is this? This is Grave Warden Duelist. You know what they say, bro. You give him an inch, I'm gonna take a mile. I forgot about that because it has that it has the taunt inside there, and it's like it scares me every time. Like, where does that come from? It's like it's supposed to taunt. Like, oh my god, scary. All right, you got a UR bow for an event and a whip, katana and ninja sword. It's like, well, I mean. Like, how many characters use katanas? How many characters use, like, all that stuff? Because bows are only for Sora right now. And then you have, whips are only for Shizuru. Ninja katana, ninja sword, it's like, I don't know what that means. It's like... I would literally need to go look at the weapon descriptions in the game to see what those are. Because I think, what, the ninja katana is something for, Asagi, I think. I'm not quite sure. Because I'll be honest, the bow is like... Sakura uses ninja katana or something like that. She probably does. Like you probably have it open right now. I don't know.
Is anybody there?
Is anybody
Someone
out
who might be interested in rescuing the great Kennethite? Ah, well, that's so. Despite appearances, Nopin might have heard of me. I'm tarnished. I want you to...
I was the ruler of Limgrave.
It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool! And What are you waiting? My fort lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. Oh, fret not. The celebrations will be...
Oh, I think it was already there. I already took back the fort. Because I remember doing that quest in the first place, and it's like, he doesn't give you shit. I think he gives you like this rinky-dinky dagger that you actually find a copy at the fort itself, and it's like a piece of junk. I know you're not supposed to really, like, everybody says, you're not supposed to kill NPCs in FromSoft games. It's like, fuck you. I'm gonna kill this guy. Bro is an ass and a half. Oh, bitch. Physic. There we go. Well, I mean, if you already have Sakura, you can probably keep continuing to build her. If you like her so much, then just keep going with her. There's no problem with that. The warp tunnel to Caelid's there. I mean, you could probably even be one of those people who builds Kurenai in the first place. She's due for renewal at any time. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet for the most part. 'Cause quite frankly, she needs it. I think that's one of Sakura's weapons that does that. It has, like, I think bonus damage to enemies who are snared. So you need to specifically build around that aspect itself. Oh, this is the Siofra River. Minor Erdtree. Oh man, Kendrick Lamar, look out. Oh no, that was Drake. That's what he was for. Smithing 2. Oh yeah, this is where you meet Blide. Because there he is up there. There's Fancy Wolfman. I don't know how you're supposed to talk to him, so I guess we're just not going to do that. I think I was able to talk to him once, but I came back like way later in the game when I had like other stuff. Like, your guess is as good as mine for that one. Well, I mean, also we like Max over there. We got the summer weapon tickets that are here right now. So you have weapons for, I think, like up from, for everybody up to Kurenai for the most part. So you can get like free gear for them. An NPC is supposed to give me the gesture, but I don't know what it is. Like, I did Randy's quest like when the game came out, and I don't know what to do now for it. In fact, I think I was able to do it without interacting with Blide, because you eventually see him later on when you get in the tunnels. Oh! think I've been here before. Yeah, I have. Damn it, it took me back all the way over there. I got sidetracked again. I'm supposed to take back this fort. Uh-oh, the game's loading in too much at once. That's what I get for alt-tabbing out of the game to go read stuff. Because now, like, it just like destroys my frames every time. I don't know, maybe that's like a problem with like a 4-monitor setup, is because it creates other problems. Blind the half-wolf. It is doing it, I knew it. Whoa, lag ahoy. Alright, let's go clear the game real quick. I did see Micah's new swimsuit over there. It's really good. It's a very good look for her. Though it's not like it's with Rin's, where Rin's has like the leopard print and everything like that for the gal we love so much. I would think they would do that for her, give her a golden one or something like that, which would have been really cool. Apparently Tokiko got one too, but I'm not exactly impressed. I don't like her very much. Yeah, they made her butt like fucking enormous for this. It's got to be on purpose. It's got to be on purpose, if I've ever said so myself. Oh shit.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right this way. Welcome, valued customer. Come, please. I'm hungry.
Boy, he's trying every trick in the book. It's like, I'm hungry. I'm needy. Please save me. Bro, I don't even want to look at me now. So he's like, all right, you're not going to buy anything, I understand. Just leave a poor man to starve. I have no idea what causes this sometimes. It's like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Micah would wear something like that, and that's why it makes it so good. That's why I'm glad they gave her something that risque, because it fits her character so much better. And you're busy with that. Honestly, if there's a way to limit like the FPS to 30, I would really... No, I can't do that because it messes with the game itself. I can it? Fort height? You mean like Fortnite? Oh, 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 oh. Uh-oh. Bloody slash. Oh, I haven't even gotten the item that does that. Yes, it's a weapon mod as well. We have it's called Carry and Combo Warriors, which gives that's where you get the first half of Dectus. Cool. It's Carry and Combo Warriors, which allows you to do crazy stuff like, you know, good old-fashioned Devil May Cry moves and everything like that. The Katana moveset is directly ripped off from Virgil himself. Same with parts of the Short Sword moveset as well. This gunner guy has been going crazy. Like, when I say it actually takes about everything from his moveset, it does. Like, everything. From Beowulf to Force Edge to the Yamato. Like, it does everything and more. It is honestly kind of... It makes everything really cheap for the most part because you just go insane. You just go like, insane in the membrane with this shit. It's honestly kind of nuts. Let's see, what I want to do is you want to head up through there. North side, you have to go through that area. Let's go back to Third Church. Like, there's so many messages, like, we have to play this offline because it fucks a lot of stuff up if you play it online. Wow, that was nice. It's crazy enough to say the least. The whole entire thing just straight up crashed. I guess that's what happens when you're running like 4 GPUs or something. They're like 4 monitors. A driver timeout, nice. Well, that's great. That's honestly insane, though. Oh, that sucks. Well, let's reduce that then. Oh, that sucks. I have to do a whole bunch of stuff for this now. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Well, thanks a lot there, AMD, for fucking up your drivers. It doesn't work anymore. I guess we'll have to cut it here today. We'll have to cut it here today, everybody. I'm sorry. But good old-fashioned driver issues, once again, taking its toll on another poor streamer. Thanks for stopping by for those who made it, everybody. And I'll see you next time when we get